Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video, and we're going to talk a little basketball here. Monty Williams of the Phoenix Suns has been voted the National Basketball Coaches Association Coach of the Year. This was announced earlier today. So, yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, he had a tremendous season with the Phoenix Suns, leading them to a 51-21 regular season and the second seed in the Western Conference. Let that sink in, because at the beginning of the year, we knew Phoenix was going to be good based upon how they finished last year, plus the addition of Chris Paul. There was a potential that we knew that they was going to be, a playoff team. But to be this good and that high, now granted, injuries did play a role this season for teams like the Lakers, But with that being said, though, you still got to go out there and win the games, and that's exactly what the Phoenix Suns did. So this was tremendous for him. I mean, they have really improved a lot, and to improve by 17 games this season in a season that has been a shortened season, that goes to show, this guy obviously knows what he's doing for the Phoenix Suns. That is tremendous. And considering, yeah, just 2 years ago, they were 19-63 as an organization. That's the team that he inherited. And so we're talking about fast results here. So that is tremendous right there for Monty. And even, going back with the experience that he gained, obviously, learning the coaching ropes, but also as a player as well. You go back to, he was in the league going back from 1994 to about 2003. So during that time span, you obviously learn a lot. Some of the better coaches, they tend to be those players that, they played. They wasn't a superstar, but they were someone who, was good enough to go out there and contribute and help the team and, was a part of that team culture. So that definitely does help when you're able to explain to guys, because you've seen it. You've seen what it looks like to play with a star. You see how the coaches manage a star. You're in the rooms, you're in there, you're on the court. I mean, it takes skills to get that far. So that was tremendous for him. And just to recap, his career, throughout his entire career, he averaged about 6.3 points a game, and then shot about a good 48% in terms of field goal percentage. So, yeah, he definitely was someone that, contributed to the team. He played for quite a few teams: the Orlando Magics, San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, Denver Nuggets, you name them. He's pretty much played, with all of these teams. And no team he has spent like no more than at the most 3 years with a team. So he was used to being that guy that goes to a different team, different culture. So for him coming to this environment, it was just another belt on up under his belt right there for him to be able to, come in a different situation and make it his own. And he was able to accomplish that. And excited to see how the Phoenix Suns are going to do this year's playoff. It feels a lot different than other years in the past. We've seen years where, although in the Western Conference, that is usually not the case, because Chris Paul, I think he hit that perfectly when he was just talking to Charles Barkley about how essentially the Western Conference is always competitive. Just because you're the one seed, that doesn't guarantee anything. But that's especially true this year when you have teams like the Lakers, teams like the Warriors that are trying to, go in there as a seventh and eighth seed. And so, yeah, there's if you're a top seed, you definitely know that you're going to have to bring it a lot earlier, probably than, like in terms of the bigger teams there than normal. But with that being said, though, you can't dodge anybody. You got to go out there and compete. Chris Paul said it best: can't dodge nobody. Some of the other coaches that received some votes were Scott Brooks with Washington, Denver's Michael Malone, Atlanta's Nate McMillan. Hey, that's a good choice right there. The Hawks, that was a nice surprise this season. Philadelphia's Doc Rivers. Philly, Philly's another team that, they found a way to improve. We've always seen Philly be in the conversation, but I feel like this year we're justified in putting them in that conversation. Utah, Quinn Snyder, New York's Tom. New York. That is another one. We're having Randall. That is definitely another. I mean, there's a lot of fun teams to see on that eastern side, just because we know how teams like Atlanta, teams like New York have been struggling, in the past. And then obviously, Western Conference, there's a lot of great games that's going to be played, in the playoffs. So I'm definitely excited to get this started and see who's going to come out on top, because, a lot of teams can make a very strong case either way. So excited to see how that's going to go. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We want to make sure that we give props to Monty Williams on the tremendous season that he had. He deserves this award, that is for sure, and excited to see how this all plays out. But thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, as more news continues to drop, you can be sure to find it here. So thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.